name's Maddi Granath. I'm 14 and with the Purple Team. My experiment today is about food coloring and the way it affects the way food tastes. When I was about 7, my mom decided that it would be best that I stop eating foods with food coloring in it. And about 7 years later, it's still true. I don't eat anything with artificial food coloring in it. The myth is that food coloring actually makes food taste better. I'm here to see if that's really true. So say you were to walk into a bakery or cake shop looking for a cake, you would be more likely to get the bright blue or pink one as opposed to the white or gray one, right? So my question is, does food coloring actually make food taste better? My hypothesis is, no, it doesn't. It doesn't actually affect the way it tastes at all, but it does affect the way we perceive it to taste. So I designed this experiment to see whether or not food coloring actually has an effect on flavor.
I started with one big batch of white cake frosting. I divided that batch into equal amounts in 4 bowls. I added 5 drops of artificial color, McCormick brand food color FD&C blue 1, red 3, red 40, and yellow 5 to each of these 3 bowls and left 1 untouched for the control.
Personally, I like the blue and the white better. It didn't taste as salty or slimy than the pink and the gray did.
As you can tell from this graph here, when they were blindfolded and we performed the taste test on them, people seemed to like the blue and the white better. They thought it tasted sweeter, while the pink and the gray seemed to be saltier or slimier. Now the graph underneath is when they were looking at it and tasting it at the same time. They seemed to like the blue and the pink a lot better, the gray, and nobody actually liked the white at all. I was surprised. Even when I was tested, I found that the food color did change the way the frosting tasted. It didn't make the frosting taste any better though. Some of the colored frosting tasted more salty or slimy to my volunteers, but it didn't necessarily make any of it taste better. So my hypothesis was partially correct. People's perception of what they would like based on color was different from what their taste buds ended up telling them. But it was also partially wrong. The food coloring was not flavor neutral. It did actually change the way the frosting tasted. But since the artificial color did not improve the flavor of the frosting, it even sometimes made it worse, then my question to food companies throughout the world remains, why do you keep adding food coloring to my food?